Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I would like to focus today's video on the governor's race on my running mate, Wesley Deters. No relation, as we like to laugh. We've been talking about how we ought to have bumper stickers, Deters and Deters, no relation. Now, let me explain this choice of Wesley Deters. I think you'll find it very interesting. First and foremost, Paula Miller and Dr. George Miller have been friends of mine for a while. They once hosted a fundraiser at their house for me when I ran for Kenton County Attorney. And I'll never forget it, when I was over at their house, I remember that they had a daughter who was a swimmer. And I met their son, but I never met their daughter. Fast forward to this past February. Well, it turns out that there was this big battle going on for the takeover of the Kenton County Republican Party by all of those that wanted to change things against the establishment. And I learned that the name that was submitted to become the next Kenton County Republican chairman was Wesley Deters. And I was like, who's Wesley Deters? Now, I also want you to know that back in the day when I was paying attention to the news and following sports, I remember reading about this kid that played football at Covington Catholic named Deters, who was like racking up 200 yards every day playing football. I'll get back to that in a minute. So anyway, these gals, Andrea Humpert, Wesley Deters, and somebody else, I forgot who it was, came to see me one Saturday to ask me about helping them with this battle. So I finally got to meet Wesley Deters, and I learned at that meeting that she was, in fact, Paula Miller's daughter, and also that she was married to Mitchell Deters, who has a small business, and her brother-in-law was, in fact, that same Deters I used to read about having all those records. By the way, I would later meet him at Planet Fitness. So I got to meet Wesley at this meeting. Well, then it comes out, you can't make this stuff up. She ends up meeting my daughter, Charlie Ann, at a place called ASAP with their kids. Now, Wesley is 36 years old. She's married, and she has 3 children, and she lived in Park Hills. She's now moved from Park Hills to Hebron, but she lived in Park Hills. She served on Park Hills City Council, and so she became friends with my daughter. So I decided, you know, I needed somebody to be the president of Bulldog Media. I needed somebody who just would be perfect to run the show, because I found out that Wesley shared my views. Also, she's female. In addition to that, listen to these credentials. She was a D1 swimmer, swam at Penn State, swam at the University of Kentucky. She got college degrees, I believe, I could be wrong, English, linguistics, communication, so obviously all those skill sets. In addition to that, she worked in New York City, she worked in LA, she's ran some businesses and some companies involving clothing and retail. And not only that, she also was part of that organization that did business incubator work over in Cincinnati. And I can't think of the girl's name at the time. I think her name was Candace. But the bottom line is that she also helped start businesses and advise businesses, doing business plans and everything else. So I learned this all about Wesley, and I'm like, my goodness, I need to make her president of Bulldog Media. So I made her president of Bulldog Media. I made her an offer, and she accepted it. But underpaid. Anyway, the bottom line is that she's done a fabulous job. I mean, she's your typical, well-organized, multitasking, intelligent, and not only that, she's beautiful. So she covers all the bases. So here's the thing. I'm sitting there myself. I said, I got to run for governor. You have to have a lieutenant governor. Now, by the way, the timeline isn't there yet. You can actually like wait and pick one later if you want. I said, no, I want to pick one now. And all these people will tell you, they'll say, well, you know what? You got to pick from a different region. Like Matt Bevin, black woman from Louisville, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. Not me. I'm like, man, I want somebody I can trust, somebody I like, somebody shares my views. By the way, just think if President Trump, sorry, Mr. President, because you know I support everything you do, just think if he picked somebody that shared his views for vice president and attorney general. He'd still be president, folks. I'm not going to make those mistakes. And by the way, so I've asked Wesley to be my lieutenant governor running mate, and she said yes. Now get this. I now have a running mate who's all those things that I mentioned in the biography, and I'm sure I left out a few, but at least I'm not reading. The other thing is she's a 36-year-old mother of 3 kids. All those issues that are important to mothers and families across this state of Kentucky, she knows them and will knock them dead, including education. I will not use the word czar. I'm going to have no czars. I hate the word. But you know what? I know that my lieutenant governor will make sure that the education system in the state of Kentucky gets fixed. But not only that, everybody likes Wesley. She's an incredible asset to my campaign already. And she's also from Northern Kentucky. Now, there's another thing I want to stress about this. All these people, you get a vice president and lieutenant governor, and then they're, what's going to be their job and what's their role and all that stuff. I don't get that. It's going to be very easy. My #1 advisor, my right hand and my left hand when I'm governor of Kentucky will be Wesley Deters. She will be in the governor's office, not just the lieutenant governor's office. She will be in the governor's office helping execute our plans, help formulating policies and executing that. And you know what? When I leave the state, hey, Wesley, take over. I mean, it's going to be a true, they always say this, true partnership. It really is. Wesley Deters is going to be my right arm, my left arm, my senior advisor, and she's going to be incredible. I like the look. By the way, it's all sincere. It's all legitimate based upon real substance. But I have to admit, I don't mind the look either. Why? When I say look, I'm talking about a 36-year-old mother who also works. She can relate. She can connect. And you know what? My final point is for Northern Kentucky. You've got not only a governor, a lieutenant governor from Northern Kentucky. You'll be able to reach. Now, she's not going to give you out her cell phone number. I'm going to give you, you're going to have my cell phone number, 859-250-2527. But those across the state of Kentucky, you are going to have a dynamic duo that you've never seen ever in the history of this state. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.